Thank you for that. And let me quickly share my screen. Let me share my screen. Okay, the entire screen. So I was told to talk about this topic. Before we move on, let us pray. Father, we thank you for this period. As we go into this discussion, open our eyes to more opportunity. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. I believe you can hear me very well. Can you hear me very well, please?
Yeah, loud, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Career Let's try and mute ourselves so that others can enjoy. Thank you. In this program, this particular presentation, I don't want it to be an academic presentation. I want it to be interactive. Please ask questions. The one you know, the one you don't know. Let's try as much as possible and ask questions. I'm not the only one that will do the presentation. And sometimes I'll call one or two people in to give us details, especially in our career part, because we have different fields. As you all know, I study mathematics, and I've been working in applied mathematics for years now. So for it to be more robust, I have here with me Dr. Bolade, she's here. Engineer Samson is also here. Then, if time permits us, our brother also, Brother Oyetade, will also join. Currently, he's in a program. He promised to join. So let's continue. Career prospect, research, and international opportunity. Everything we are saying also work together. How do we, in our career that we are talking about, how to improve your career prospects? First thing is to brush up your soft skill, like communication, planning, Javier. What are the soft skills we are talking about? Critical thinking. If you want to work with people that matters, critical thinking must be one of the things you must be able, when they present a document, you must be able to look into it. You must be able to sit down and be able to think about the solution, because an entrepreneur or any other person, employer will not want to hear that you don't know. That is the purpose why they employ you. Remember what you told them during the interview. Effective communication. Some of us don't know how to reply mails. Some of us don't even reply. All this must also be part of why we are to improve our career prospects. Collaboration, problem solving. I don't know. When you are saying, oh, I don't know what they are saying, go out. Thank God now we have internet. At a glance trial, you can even just type on Google, you get solution to some of the problems. Intellectual curiosity. You must have your argument, your talk, your contribution must be superb. You must, that's why when we are reading, Jola said something now. He said, this is one of the talk that all of us need, including myself. business sense. Some of us believe that I'm an academic, I don't need any other thing. No, you're an academic, you need so many things. In my school currently where I work, they will teach you how to, they cannot promote you here in university in UK, the university in UK. Nobody will promote you without that you win. Probably you have funding, you write a proposal and you got a funding. They will not promote you. Go and ask. If you see, some people will finish now and they become a professor in the next 3 or 4 years, while some are already graduated for years and yet they are still on the same queue. Why? Because they are not business oriented. So in every field you find yourself, you must have the business, you must be business minded person. These are the key, these are the soft skills the whole world is looking for. Let me shock you for this thing. Go and write it down. All our kids that we are giving birth to now, or that our children that are growing up now, some of them, the work they will do is not yet created. I will explain. Before, there's nothing like social media managers, but today we have social media managers. We have different developers. We have different things coming up. So it simply means that anything you will learn or we've learned or the one we are doing, we must be effective about it. Okay, for example, you are a nurse, or for example, you are an architect, or you are an accountant. Everything you must do, communication must be one of the watchwords. Let's continue. Another point that I want us to know is build a career network for useful advice and opportunity. As an engineer, I need to talk to someone in my field. I need to talk to them. When they call for meeting, do you go there? Probably registered engineer in Nigeria or anywhere you are. Do you associate yourself with them? Some of us, we are so spiritual to the point that things that we need to do, we still spiritualize it. No, you don't need that. For us to prosper, for us to prove, you are light. The Bible says we are light. So if you are not there and you are running away from them, how do you want your light to shine in their own darkness? So please, brethren, we need to work on this. Make sure you know how to approach interviews. Gone are the days, I'm not saying prayer is not good. Yes, prayer is good. There is a way, there is a path for prayer, but there is a path for your own personal development. Make sure you know how to approach interview. Make a research. Call people. Ask questions. Do your own diligence. Do your work. Don't just rely that, no, I've fasted, I've prayed. Yes, thank God for your life. You can quote scripture. Is that what they want to employ you for? No. So we need to do the needful. Don't read their cake book. Check their website. Check what they are doing. What is their brand? What is their timeline? What do they do there? Have you seen anybody working there? Ask questions. Make research. Excuse me, about that. Use the wide variety of resources on web. Some of us complain about data, complain about network, but the same network, the same data we use on Facebook, Instagram, to make friends, to talk, to watch videos, we can divert it to improve our career. People believe that some people in abroad, they are better, they do. No, it's because we have challenges and everybody is facing it right there. Get some useful work experience. If you don't already have one, have it. It is very important. When we are talking about giving yourself, giving time, go there and ask questions. You can even say that you want to do intern. Intern is coming up in Nigeria now. Tell them you want to volunteer. My sister was I think our last born, she was complaining about, and she finished a degree. I said, listen, you want to work in the lab, please look around, go and meet them. You want to learn. They said, I must pay. I said, go out there, we will pay. And we paid for that intern after at NYSC. Lo and behold, she has not finished 6 months she paid for before she had an opportunity. And they asked the question, where is your experience? And she tendered it. So it is possible. There are some things that are not spiritual that you have to face the reality. Job market resources, lay your hands on it. Build your CV. What is your CV all about? Is it the same CV you submitted for the teaching? You are submitting it for the marketing. Come on, don't be deceived. There are things we need to, that you need to make it happen there. Get experience, like I said, then keep your online presence up to date, e.g., your LinkedIn profile, your Facebook, your Twitter. I'll share that experience with me. Some people on this platform, they can bear me witness. My first job in US, I got it from Twitter. The professor just tweeted. He said, I need a postdoc that will do this and this. He just put there, your CV, 2-page CV, and your cover letter. And that's on Twitter. That is where I got it. On LinkedIn, some of us don't have LinkedIn accounts. Create one. They don't ask you to bring money. Now, how do you work on the LinkedIn? How do you work on the LinkedIn profile? I know some people are making money on LinkedIn profile now. We have some different people that are building profile for people on LinkedIn. But when you don't have money, like me, what I did was, I don't have money to pay for anybody to build my profile. I just look for some of my mentors on LinkedIn, people that I follow, that I know they are very powerful guys. I just check their profile and I look at it. Okay, this is what this man did. If you check my LinkedIn profile now, you will see the way I arrange my own. I follow the suit of some of my senior professors that I'm mentee to them. Some of us on our Facebook, when you put your year or your date of birth, you put 1950. Is that 90? Are you 1950? Some of us will say 1960. Well, they don't need your year. Just put your date and your month. It's okay. Some of us will tell you, no, I don't want social media. I don't want wala. You are just deceiving yourself. At this age, recruiter go on this profile and check. So if your presence is not felt on that platform, now tell me, how do you want to promote where they want to employ you? How do you want to market? You want to apply for marketing and you don't have all this handle? How do you want them to listen to you, that you're a serious person? So we need to work on all these things. They are very important. Hey, don't put me on social media. Don't put me on Facebook. No, you are not going there. Some of you that are my friend on Facebook, you will see, anytime I publish a paper, I upload it on Facebook. That is the way I use my own social media. So if I go to any conference, I upload it. It's not to show off, but I'm also marketing myself one way or the other. Because some people will see it and they will comment and they will get back to me. Recently, I just published a paper and we've been working on that paper for 2 years. And one of my hosts then in South Africa, I just told him, immediately I tweet that paper, I attach it to handle of a particular society in the US. And the editor of that particular organization just sent me a private chat. He said, oh, this is beautiful. Can I have a PDF file? I sent it to him. He said, immediately he read it, he said, we would like to make it a front page, a cover page of our newsletter. I said, wow, that's fantastic. Do you know the number of contacts I've gotten after that paper? So these are the things. Make yourself available. Once you some of us in academy, once you publish, don't keep it. If the journal say, hey, don't we will be the one to upload it, don't mind them. Upload on your own platform. Upload it. It doesn't take anything. Oh, and I have this self-presentation CV. I think there was a time I was looking for a job. Okay, in one of my thing, some of the mistakes I made, I will explain here. I didn't know this until when I was I was hammered by one of the organization, and I applied to London School of Hygiene here in UK, and they called me. I was shortlisted, and they asked for my stuff, and they said there is interview. Yes, they said you'll be given 5 minutes presentation, and you have to. I didn't prepare any slide because I'm new in UK. I did not know that that's the method. So I just went to the interview. The man asked me, the professor asked me, are you here? Are you ready to present? I said, yes. I said, okay, go ahead. Do you have anything to share? I said, no. He said, okay, no problem. No, immediately he said, okay, no problem. You know, white people, they won't fight with you. They will just mark you down. And that's the end. After the interview, I called a friend in UK. Then I've not been in UK. I was in Nigeria then. And I called a friend. I said, oh, this is what happened. He said, wow, you messed up. I said, why? He said, because anybody who want to have any job in UK, they will actually ask you for presentation. Whether they ask you to prepare the slide or not, you must prepare the slide. It makes sense to them that you are really ready for the job and you are ready to take up the appointment. Wow. Guess what? The next application I did, when they called me, I quickly they only said you have 8-minute presentation. And when I shared this slide, they were so impressed. So please, let's know what the market is saying. It's very important. Remember, commit your work to the Lord and your plan will be established. Proverbs 16:3. Oh, now that's it. Before we move to the research, I would like at this point to call one or two people so that I will call Dr. Bolade now before we move to other part of engineering. Stop sharing. Dr. Bolade.
Yes, sir.
Over to you, ma.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Can you all hear me very well?
Clearly.
Clearly.
Right,
you can also see your face.
Very clear.
Yeah. Professor Shegu, because that's what I prefer to call you. Can we go ahead to just summarize the career path in medicine now? Or
yes, go ahead. Summarize it.
I remember when we were in medical school then, we thought once you graduate, the next thing is residency. That was all we were thinking of, that once you graduate by default, you just must do residency to specialize. But after a while, we realized that there are other paths that can take us to the top. Some of us are still in the process. Some realize that path early enough and follow that path. Thank God we are recording this for the benefit of our younger sisters that may need to make their decision on time. Realize that in Nigeria, there are some challenges in health that, thanks to private organizations, thanks to private hospitals, especially with this strike on and off, irregularity in salary payments, and we've seen that if not for people that are qualified personnel that chose to enter into private practice, that has been a salvage for even we as doctors and as patients. How do I mean that we as doctors? I know of some friends that say they don't even want to work with government organization, that they prefer their work schedule in private organization more than government job. This is because some of our seniors in the profession have realized some laxity in government job, and they try as much as possible to try to simulate it with what it obtains abroad. And patients who have their money, who can afford it, are happy that they don't have to follow protocol. They go there, they pay their money. Doctors working there, they are happy doing the job because those who employ them are not using them like this. I don't want to use the hospital. Their pay by far better than what government is doing. Private practice is another career path that residency should not take away from us. Some will start their own early, some will finish their residency before they do that. Another opportunity, I'm not dwelling so much on residency because it's been a popular thing, so to say, to everybody. It's research job. Some of our doctors don't even bother to stay in clinical practice. They go into research, medical research, and they are doing wonderfully well because not all of us must stay in the hospital setup. Another opportunity that some people have ventured into, sales of medical equipment. We realize that some of us that have been into private practice some years ago, that when we need to equip our hospitals, when non-medics supply us equipment, there are some one or two considerations they might not know. But when your colleague who knows how to who knows the implication of the outcome of some of the lab results, so they mind the type of instruments they import in, and it's improving the quality of services. So we've seen some of our colleagues that they are doing their work normally and they are into sales of medical equipment, and we are feeling more comfortable patronizing them. Another part is some people, they even don't bother themselves too much because not all of us will be clinicians. That's the truth. Because it's not only the clinical practice that matters. Every other aspect of practice, it at the end of the day will help the quality of service that will be rendered by the clinicians. Some entered into NGO job. I went for a training recently concerning an emergency obstetrics care. The training was organized by NGO. They organized the training, they discussed with our employers, and when we went for the training, we were like, I wish things like this can continue. If they did not choose that path, and all of us just push our head into residency, many other things will be lacking. And some people, they decided that they want to stay in the rural area because some of those rural areas don't have enough government hospitals. They chose not to even stay in the city. They chose to practice their own medicine in the rural area, and they are making their money, they are making people happy. And with the way things are going, the usual pattern of then fine, this might not be good for the country. Some people just decided that they will leave the country to go and practice outside the country. Some their mind is that they want to go there to learn about some soft other aspects of management that are not popular here. And after a while, they will come down back to their country. I saw a video recently. There's this surgery, I remember during my house job days, when an elderly man, if they have issues with their prostate, it's a major surgery that when we do that surgery, they buy lots of materials. There is a part of their body that will be infiltrating Dr. Wale Ayande will understand me better, because to be afraid of, we don't want blood to retain in a particular place. It was a stressful procedure after the main surgery. The patient will need to be hospitalized for days. But some of our colleagues that decided to leave the country to go there to train themselves more are coming back with what we call laparoscopic surgery, such that it will be like a keyhole that they will gain entrance to that part of the body, and the surgery will be done. Patient can even possibly be discharged that same day or probably the following day. So if people, each one of us, what I would like to summarize now so that we'll give other people opportunity to talk, is that early in our career, especially when we are still in school, when we just graduate, during our NYSC days, let us make our choice with the information available early, so that, I'm sorry, my doctor is stopping me. I'm not calling you. We make our decision early so that our own path, we can follow it. I would like to hold on for now. If opportunity comes again, to re-emphasize some things. But
Thank you so much.
Summary I can give.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Let me call Engineer Samson. Over to you. Are you there?
Yeah. Thank you, Professor Mrs. and thank you, Professor Sir. No, that's like this now. I will celebrate it before it would come. You understand?
Yes.
So the joy of the future profship, we are enjoying it now. So no problems. Quickly, while the national president was talking the other time, or speaking, delivering his own speech, he made mention of qualification, that his colleagues did not have a probably higher qualification and all that, and they were able to align themselves and were able to travel out in good time. Yeah, as much as we want to like center everything on qualification, I believe two things are very important when we are talking about career progress and research. The first one has to do with information, and the other one certification. So if you are not well informed, or you are not well disposed to information, the necessary certifications that you need to write, you would not be able to get them or know them. I like sharing stories because people will find it more relatable. Before I actually made the choice of traveling out of Nigeria, I looked at the places I would want to go or to explore. And you all know that your network is like your network. So I looked at my sphere of influence and I asked friends questions, and they gave me some qualifications, some certifications or some suggestions around certifications that I would need to write. So I did a soul searching, and I was like, okay, which one do I naturally flow with? And I know it's tech. So in that line of certification, I actually made up my mind I was going to write that. And I had a whole lot of discouragement from that, because even my senior manager at that time, as brilliant, when they say that someone is brilliant, this man is very brilliant. And I tell you for a fact, I lie not. He wrote that certification, he didn't pass it once. So I said I was going to write it, regardless of how hard or how difficult it would be. I would segment it and I would say how to go about it. Long story cut short, the day I passed this certification, I was there and I was like, that normal jubilation, like you have scored a goal and all that. And the guy that gave me the remote access to that examination from India or from US thereabout was like, why are you so jealous? And I told him, I'm writing this for the very first time and I'm passing it. And I did not pay a dime, you understand, to study for that. And the guy was like, no, you are brilliant. I said, no, I'm not brilliant. It's just when I told him there and then, because he dropped in my spirit that probably that guy does not know. I said, this is God's grace, and it's just one believing in what the grace of God can do in your life, and that is that it is. So when we are talking about career prospect, we are talking about research, it actually boils down to that individual. Do you know yourself very well? What tickles your fancy? Like today now, being a public holiday, today I have downloaded a particular term paper along my line of interest. It's a public holiday. You can do whatever you want to do, you understand? But it's just that how spirited and how passionate are you about that which you love? It's not about lip service. It's about you putting action to whatsoever thing you say. And that is how it is. And another thing we do is that we underestimate the search machines that we have. Google is very, very important, and YouTube is very, very important. If I tell you the number of deep things I've gotten from using Google search and YouTube, the number of deep dive courses that I've been able to sit down and say I've not paid 1 naira just for you to go there and search with keywords. People think that there are some keywords. Once you have those keywords and you search for them, you'll be able to have videos that you might not even be able to explore. And that is very, very important too. Then while I was speaking or chatting with Professor Shegun the other time, I was like, okay, let's just, since we have time constraint, let's just give the broad or the generic topics. Then anybody that is interested can just probably boss, and we can take it up from there. So looking at engineering, these are the things that you might want to arm yourself with. Data analytics. Everybody wants that big data of yours to be in a concise and in a summarized version, that if they are looking at it from a dashboard, they want to make informed decisions. So you might pen that one down. Automation. Everybody wants things to be done effortlessly. You don't just want things to be done. Maybe you need something to be done. You wait for 2-3 hours. 1, 2, 3, under 30 seconds. Some programming codes will give you that which you want to access some databases for you. And before you know it, under 2-3 minutes, you have that which somebody might take like 3 or 4 weeks to get. The world is fast-paced, and we have to align ourselves like that too. Then visibility, that is very, very important. You would hear me say, I reached out to a friend, I asked questions about stuff and all that. It is very, very important that you give yourself good visibility. Dr. Shegun said something about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is very, very important. Between January and now, I can't count the number of people who have reached out to me and they would say, okay, I have this kind of job for you. You understand? And even not where I am at the moment, between now and let's say between January and now, I've had people reach out from US and say, we have this job. And it's just because of the LinkedIn profile. I have just put it on my LinkedIn profile that I'm available on site in US. So when they come back and they ask me those questions, if they can just push me to the interview room and all that, then you understand that is, I've taken myself away from the pool of resource in the first place. And these are people that would, on their own accord, send messages and ask questions, and you will not just go and join that queue. So it's very, very important that you work on your visibility, expand your own horizon, have people around you. I do tell people, see, your friends, your colleagues, don't have unnecessary rivalry. I understand that some people are very difficult to probably get along with, but at the same time, you understand, make sure that you follow peace, just like the Bible says, follow peace with all men. Invisible PR works a whole lot. Some people just like, I once worked with one person somewhere, he would do this job, and before you know, somebody will just recommend you, and that research opportunity you have been trusting God for will just come based on someone else's recommendation. Somebody, probably an interview, they might not even select you for that particular role, but somebody knows that he has interviewed you and you have knowledge about that, and probably they might check where you were at that point, probably your visa category or probably your location at that point. No, maybe the person now has like an enhanced budget and all that, and the person says, I know, since I have this budget, I once interviewed one lady in Nigeria, I once interviewed one brother in Nigeria. Now, since we have enough funding, we would be able to apply to the Home Office and we'll be able to bring this person. So look at every opportunity you have to meet anybody or to probably leave a positive impression on people. Don't just go for interview sessions like, don't be prepared. Prepare very well. Go in there and be able to market yourself very well. It is good that you have research interest. It is good that you gather materials, but it's also good that you work upon yourself and you communicate clearly. When you communicate clearly and you can tell people what you can do differently, I tell you for a fact that when people have all the things within their control, they will invite you and they will be able to extend that to you. It's very, very important. So make sure you work upon yourself very well. Then I'll leave us with some job sites for the people in the tech world. You can put your CV on CV Library. You can put your CV on Indeed.com. There's TotalJobs.com. There's Glassdoor and all that. And I just leave us with these two. So if you have any problem with your CV and all that, even beyond the engineering this thing, you can just boss. We can do one or two things on your CV for visibility. I once had just one contact with one person, and probably they saw my CV on a CV Library, and they said, okay, we have looked at your experience and all that. Okay, your CV is like okay, they said that maybe 50% is better than 50% of people's CV and all that, but we believe that there are some keywords that are still missing in that. And they gave me like 1 hour session. They said, we would call you this, so and so. Choose the hour, and I chose that hour. So I just looked at the time that I would be on break. So I gave them that. The guy called me and all that. And the guy never knew that as it was, everything the guy was saying, I was scribbling down and I was putting it together. For 1 hour, when we now finished, the guy now said that, okay, this 1 hour, this thing has been that. So if you still want, like, okay, you wanted me to be like other pants, I left in my mind that what I have scribbled down in this 1 hour, if I show you, you yourself know, I just updated my CV with it. To God be the glory. After I did that, I know the number of contacts I've had, even after getting my job by His grace. So we have to pay attention to details, and we have to work upon ourselves and give ourselves the best of visibility. Thanks so very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I know we're just a lot of us will be having a question now. Don't worry. Let me just finish this part. Then from there we'll pick it up. So thank you, Dr. Bolade, and thank you, Engineer Samsi. So like I said, we are moving on. Research and opportunity. What is the research? Why research is the key to an academics or to a professional? Forget about it. I'm not in academics. It's not all about research now. Let's just read this definition. It said, research is defined as a systematic and scientific process to answer questions about facts and relationship between facts. It is an activities involved in seeking answer to unanswered question. So we need to note this. Don't say, no, after all, I'm not in academics. Thank God you are not in academics. But these days, employer wants somebody to do research to get a new thing. I was told that if you want to get a promotion in CBN, for years I've had that, you have to read as if you want to present your Fiverr, your PhD, because you have to write and do research, do presentation. And that is how it is in some other places. So these are the summary of research and some other creativities, ideas that are involved when it comes to research. Your research can be primary or secondary. If research is primary, you can have a survey pool, you can have interview, focus group, you can be observation. But in the secondary aspect of it, it can be online research, it can be literature research, and it can be case study. So these are the things that we do in academics, and it is applicable to our day-to-day activities. So I want to employ you. What are the steps? You don't need too much. All you need is choose a topic, review the literature that is related to it, formulate a problem from that. How do you do that? What you need to do, you develop the research question, choose and organize the research design, gather the data that are necessary. For example, when I said choose a topic, look at open problems. There is no field that doesn't have open problems. Some of us, I just laugh when some people will tell you, I don't know the topic I will take for my research. I don't know my supervisor. Just Google it, just type it. Open problem in this field, you will see a lot. From there, you get the literature. And the literature, God so bless us in the fellowship, we have brethren in abroad. You can, even if you don't have access, any paper they ask you to pay, send it to me, I will download it for you. We have people that have access to databases. For example, where I work, we have over 500 databases. So I don't think there is any field you want to talk about that will not be able to get. And it's all across, except the one that is not online. When you formulate the problem, you will see the existence, the way they did in the other paper, and you do the same thing. Even at work, if they ask you, present the paper, do something meaningful, do it the way it's supposed to do. Don't say, I'm not in academics. No. Research is research. Gathered, we've seen people, if you Google very well, people are working with Facebook and they are publishing paper. People are working with Total, they are publishing paper. People are working with Google and they are publishing paper. So you can also publish where you are working. If you are working with Total, publish it and write Total. By the time they ask for the study group, they will consider it because your name is already online. So analyze data. A lot of us will work with data every day and we're just dumping it somewhere. And this is money. Data is life. Get those data, analyze them, get the literature review, do it, and if it is 10 pages you can do it. It's possible. Interpret the data and communicate your finding. You can do a presentation to your boss. Oh, I have this idea. This is what I got. And according to the research, this is what happened. This is one of my papers in 2018. I remember getting this topic, I have to search almost how many weeks to get the topic done. And from there, at the end of the day, we were able to formulate the problem and get the paper done. And I was able to get my PhD during that time. The research circle, like I said, identify research area. Where you are working, you can publish. Forget about, no, I'm not in this. No, you can publish. Just identify the research area there. Design that research study. Carry out, even like Bolade said the other time, I've had enough. Myself and Dr. Kayode Adene, he works with Lut, and we are just talking, and he told me good number of medical doctors. He's in medical physics, and he's doing well in medical physics. Without him, they cannot carry out radiotherapy in Lut. Without him on board, I think he's one of the leaders there. Without him on board, they cannot treat cancer using radiotherapy at the Lut. He's a member of our fellowship. He represents federal government everywhere in where he's working. So, and he works with medical doctors because he's an oncologist. They work with all the oncologists in that field, and they all come to him, and he's part of the tumor board. And they do research. Remember, they collect data from patients and they analyze it, they publish it, their findings. Carry out research. Analyze research results. Analysis research results, then publish the results. Because when you publish it, it will go a long way for people to know what is really happening. And this is one of the sketch some set of people that the consensus and stakeholder did on research analysis. They perform literature and trial or any other outcome. They group them, extract their literature and their findings. Remember the trial outcome, they do that. They consult the parents, researcher, and different policy makers, and so on. Because of our time, let's move on. So now, one of the career paths that they just pick is data science career path. some of us, you need to hurt yourself. Jokes apart, don't just rely on the same degree we got at the Lautech. We need to hurt to ourselves. Because you are a medical does not make you not to know how to analyze your data. These people, if you Google them now, you will see a lot of money flowing. As we are talking, we are complaining there's no job. Some guys in this field, they make cool money. And you can also testify to it. Unfortunately, I wanted to bring Olorunfemi here, but unfortunately, I could not connect with him. So we'll have tell us more about machine learning scientists, data engineer. Of recent, I just fall in love with Power BI. That is Power Business Intelligence Developer. I've been doing that. I'm about to complete the training and write the final exams. So we can also do that. I know people complain about money, but God will surely provide. Reach out to people, don't keep quiet. So I conclude this way. There is nothing better than to be happy and enjoy ourselves as long as we can. And people should eat and drink and enjoy the fruit of their labor. For these are the gifts from God. So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do all to the glory of God. 1 Corinthians 10:31. So brethren, I want to say a big thank you to you for listening to our presentation today. The room is open for, let me stop sharing. Over to you. Tola.
Yes, so thank you very much, Dr. Shegun. Though I heard a lot of people already prophesying that professorship.
Amen.
So it is a prophecy which will definitely come to pass.
Amen.
So very soon. So we are glad to have you tonight. Not only you, with your co-facilitator, Dr. Mobolade, and engineer. Let me also still put that doctor in order not to be by heart, because we are in the same field. Engineer Fire you are. Well, I would have even said engineer doctor. So I so much on behalf of the National Executive Council, I want to appreciate you for your time and for the words, as it's mind-blowing. Indeed, it's mind-blowing. And some of the things that you said, I think I'm also like a culprit to some of the things that you said, which for instance, the LinkedIn of the thing but I go there just to follow. That's where I even saw that bro Samson has even changed his job, but some of us sometimes we'll be like, but you know, those kinds of good mentality.
That was bad, no.
Man, yes. So I saw it, I said that's interesting. And I know when he also relocated to UK, I said, wow. And thank God for what our brethren, what they are doing out there. The brother you just mentioned now is also a wonder. I just remember those days when, he was once our general secretary, but now you can see what he's doing out there, mover and shaker of the entire youth. We are so blessed in ASF. The only thing is just for us to be able to see all these opportunities, tap into it, and to explore them, and to be able to make it, just to make the blessing, just to go around the entire fold, the entire family. So thank you very much for this eye-opening presentation. Bro, Fire, you are, yes, I think that information and certification, yeah, it is very, very key. Thank you very much. I know you're always there, top notch, yes, always on point. And Dr. Mrs. Adeniran, my own sister, yes, double gosas for you. Today is just like we have like a 3-in-1. The topic is 3-in-1. The facilitators, we also have them in 3-in-1. So it's like a pregnant woman that is carrying like a triplets now. So we are blessed tonight for having 3 of you on this call and for what you have done. So regarding the visibility, the Lord will help us, and I don't know. Do you have anybody in the house? Maybe you have one or two questions that you want to ask facilitators. Maybe please do. You have the floor now. You can speak, or maybe you can type. But well, because of that, maybe you can just speak. Maybe 1 or 2 minutes just to ask your question while facilitators address your question. So anybody in the house? Let me see. You can just speak
Please
up.
feel free. Just open up.
Yes.
We are family. Nobody.
Yes.
Just open up. Ask questions so that we can all rub minds together. We are learning. I'm also learning.
Question about career prospect, research, international opportunities. That's why I said this topic today is just for everybody. We are all career minded, so there is nobody on this call, or maybe among us, that is not, because it's even that career that brought us together, because we went to school to study 1 or 2 things. So it's a topic for all. So, and I expect everybody to have 1 or 2 things, but not everybody to ask questions, right? Because we don't have the time, but like 1 or 2 to ask, maybe to comment. So the floor is open. So floor is asked. Anybody who's going?
All right, good evening, brethren. Hello. I would like to comment. This is Eniton Yeshon.
Eniton, okay, you're welcome.
I would like to say thank you to ASF platform for this wonderful and insightful session. Actually, in this secular space, take people for things like this. Like, there are lots of them on social media, career coach, they teach, and they book per hour. So for us to have this free of charge, it's such an awesome opportunity, and I would like to commend the speakers. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us. We're grateful, and we look forward to the recording, sir. Thank you.
No problem. I will make it available via the YouTube so that it will be easier for every one of us to do. So you don't need any password. You will see the link. I'll make the link available today.
Thank you very much. So for anybody that needs any paper, Bro Shegun has said it is available. Please just connect with him for your papers. So free of charge of any gbala. So please, if you need any site, you want to drop your CV, you can talk to our brother, Bro Samson. Or if you want to know more about how to package your LinkedIn, please, you can also talk to him. For people that are in the medical field that you still need more about how to go about your career, please, Dr. Bolade is there. Please, you can reach out to all these people. Their door is always open. That's one thing about these 3 people that I've mentioned. I know them very well, so I have access to them, so I can say much about them. So thank you. And now,
please, I have a question, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you very much. It's a very great opportunity to have this insightful teaching tonight. My question is this, sir. For those of brethren who are actually looking for admissions abroad, because I think that is what is really moving now in Nigeria. People are actually going outside the country, getting admissions and taking their families outside the country. So for those who are seeking admissions outside the country to maybe locate their families outside the country, can you please be of help? And then, because I know you work in the university outside there, so what are maybe I think that's going to be another session, or maybe because I see that you have been sharing some of the links, some opportunities that are there. So I actually want to commend you, sir, then to think to keep sharing those links. And then for those of us for those people actually, not me actually, for those who are actually looking for the opportunity to travel outside the country, how do they take their families out seamlessly without any problem, and the steps that are needed for these steps, for this stuff? So that is what I'm actually asking. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you for that opportunity. Emmanuel, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I want you to respond to that question first before I crown it.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Well, for that question, I believe that for you to come, like the Doctor and the prof in making has just mentioned earlier, you have to decide what you want. Usually people that have approached me that they needed admission and asked, is it the admission you are looking for or you just want to transit to the UK? If it is the admission, it's for the UK or any other country, it's available, but then you need to decide what exactly you want. If you want the admission for progress in academics and career, then you would want to get the things that follows your passion. But if you just want it for the sake of relocating, you could get any other course and go ahead with it, which is not really the right thing. Because when you get here, it's another ball game. And you would have to, like coming with a family, you will need to, in fact, you may lose focus of so many other things. I've been discussing with Bro Shegun several times. It's like another thing. In fact, you may have to hold on so many things to resettle your family before you can now move forward again. So if you want to come for education, you can get admission. It's not that difficult. You may reach out to any of these people, Bro Shegun, but then also think of the amount, the money involved. It is easy to make money, but it is not easy to make all the money at once. So you may want to think of how much you have in savings before you dive into that plan. So if you can think of all these things through, then I can tell you that plan yourself and get admission. You can see any of these people to help with direction. Nobody is going to assure you that this is where the admission is, but ideas and information will help you get one. Thank you.
Thank you, Bro Emma. Sorry. Don't tell me you're also talking from or speaking from UK.
I didn't tell you that, sir.
Anyway,
technically he's speaking from UK.
It is well. See my own brother.
Spiritually, he's here on the platform. Anyway, okay.
Good to hear
Let
that.
me say this. Olorotoba, it is good to travel. Sincerely, it's a perfect thing. Imai has an experience. That's why I asked him to share his experience anyway. You see, traveling abroad is a fantastic opportunity. That's one of the opportunities we are talking about. And I'm happy Bolade said something that people, some of the medical personnel that have traveled, they are here and some of them are coming back and also putting more to our economy or to train the trainer. So it's an opportunity. For example, nobody wants to stay here for long. Samson can share experience, I can share my experience. Samuel can also share experience. A lot of people on platform can share their experience. Abimbala also can share our experience. But there is no place like home. We know that. But only that, okay, we are just opportune to be this part of the world. And for now, let's keep it. Let's gather whatever we can gather. You know, it's as if you are traveling, you are trying to pack all what is available just to make your journey convenient. That's what all of us are doing. And to crown it all, like you said, that for people that want to travel, I'm not saying you don't travel with your family. Check your pockets first. And majority of us want to travel, we don't have passports, and we still want to travel. Majority want to travel, you don't have plans. You can have a session with me, I'm free. I can do that. We just book ourselves. Just try, make sure you plan yourself. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So please, planning is the key. How much do I have in saving? how much does it involve? Like I said, don't spiritualize things when it comes to reality. God can help us. God will help us, I know. But you yourself need to first of all face the reality aspect. If you will need certification to get a job, people get job from Nigeria. Don't follow people that say, no, you can't get job. No, it's a lie. I did 3 or 4 interviews before I left Nigeria. People get job. The one I'm doing now, currently, to God be the glory, I'm in University of Manchester. So people get job from Nigeria. So don't be deceived that people cannot get job. You can get it, but make sure you have the right mind, right things. Once you click on, when you are, somebody is on, you're on LinkedIn with someone, check their profile. How do they arrange it? Go back, arrange your own like that. God will help us. Thank you.
Amen.
I believe I answered part, but when you call me, probably we can also talk more. So without, because of our time.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you for all our speakers. And I think on this note, I can say that we are blessed in ASF because we are gradually having more of our brethren now in the diaspora, even more than what the number that we have in Nigeria. And I want to also say this, that maybe very soon, one of our reunion will just be taken out of this country. We all go there. People there will send the invite to us. We go there.
Don't worry, we are planning one already. Let you guys know.
So that's what I'm just looking
be
forward to
prepared.
see.